Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stephen Covert show, starring Stephen Covert. I'm your host, Stephen Covert. Today we have the illustrious, infamous, America's Got Talent superstar, Christian music sensation, Joseph O'Brien. Joseph
Hi.
O'Brien, welcome to the studio. I'm on a studio being a couch with Liam, the producer's posters behind me.
It looks gorgeous, bro.
Just
Also, I,
welcome.
I, I just want to hear one more time. Did you say it was what was it, Stephen Colbert show? Like, did you say it three times? Was it
Yeah,
three?
yeah. So it's
Or
the
you're
Stephen
the
Covert
star,
show,
and then you're
starring
the star,
Stephen Covert.
starring. Yeah, with the star. Yeah, okay. Just wanted to like double check that. Like, I heard your name like three times. That's
Yeah, I think
just
it just works best for branding, for SEOs, like search engine. Like I want my biggest what I want to do with the rest of my life. So Stephen Colbert, right?
of course, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. My life goal is to bump him off the search result. Every time you Google my name, Stephen
Wow,
Colbert takes up the first 4 pages.
that's hey,
You
you know
can't
what?
compete with
That's
Stephen
a good
Colbert.
that's a good goal, but man, that'd be tough to that'd be like trying to overtake. There's a guy named Joseph O'Brien in I think it's Scotland or Ireland. He's a horse jockey and he's super successful. And every time you go to type in Joseph O'Brien, his Wikipedia page like pops up at the top.
His
And I'm like,
earnings
maybe
that
maybe
his
one
earnings will
day.
never top.
I'm just like, oh, maybe one day, maybe I can come up right next to him. But he's pretty big. So and he's young too. Like he was one of like the youngest disc like or disc what? Um what
He's the
what
youngest
am I trying to
disc in the
say?
game. What
I
jockey?
sorry,
Something with the
I wanted to play disc golf so bad today. It's just been in my brain the whole day. The horse jockey's Mike.
he was the biggest disc
Disc
golf player in
disc
Scotland.
yeah, this biggest okay. He was one of the biggest like I was about to say disc golf again. Horse jockey racers for his age. Like I think he won some big tournament when he was like 16 that had never been done before. So nice job, Joseph O'Brien over there. Anyway,
Joseph O'Brien.
we can get back to the interview. So
Bro,
there you
listen. What happened to the disc golf today? Why didn't you get to play that?
go. Well, we ended up me and my housemates went to go see a movie, and we also got breakfast and we're like chilling in the Franklin area. And then I came back and started writing music, and that was about like 3:30. And then I got so like into making music that by the time this time came around, I was like, oh, it's too late. So unless I'm into like glow in the dark disc golf, which I don't even think is a thing, I don't think I'm gonna be playing today. But I'll play tomorrow for sure.
Uh-huh.
It's
Wait,
it's Sunday.
did you say Franklin as in Franklin, Tennessee?
Yeah, I'm in Franklin, Tennessee.
Bro, Liam
Yeah.
the producer wants to live in Franklin, Tennessee so bad. We've been
Does he
talking
really?
about Tennessee all day, bro. We all want
Oh
to
my
move
god.
to Tennessee.
Well, I mean, low key, it's like the best state in the union, but like you didn't hear it from me, or
Right.
maybe you did.
Bro, Tennessee is like is oh, it's the conservative man's California. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, it's beautiful, bro. And it's like really it's growing fast. And I think it's just because it's become such a hot spot. And it's really weird. Like for the longest time when you lived in Nashville, so many people would be like, "Oh, like you're from Nashville." And for me it was like ghost town
Yeah.
like growing up. And even now like it's freaky. People are like, "Oh, if you're from Nashville, you're just like a cool person." It's like if you're saying from, I'm from LA or I'm from New
Yeah.
York, people just have this reaction that I don't know. I'm always surprised by, but now I totally see it because it's a millennial spot to be. So
Right. Even like just saying you were in LA or in anywhere west, people are like, "Oh,
yeah,
how's the Lamborghini that you have next to the Porsche?"
yeah, of course.
It's like
Because
what's
everyone in
on
California like is super rich.
right, and
Everyone.
even the poverty is like the worst it's ever been too. So it's such a
Oh.
mixed bag.
Well,
But
just know you have my approval to move down here if you
uh,
want to.
I want to
So,
move so bad. I went so last when was producer Liam? I'm gonna normalize talking to you in this. When was my trip with the boys to Gatlinburg?
like a month ago.
A month ago. Joseph O'Brien. I know this is about you, but let me talk about me for a second. So
Okay,
I went,
absolutely. Okay.
I went, let me just fill you in. I went to the Smoky Mountains. Okay. Right next to, it wasn't technically it was in Gatlinburg. It was right outside of Gatlinburg. You know what Smoky Mountains are, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Where Dollywood is, you go through Dollywood and there's just, bro, I took, I'm going to keep giving you context. So I graduated college, correct? Not technically. I
Yeah.
still have a few credits left. We won't talk about that. But I walked and I finished my
Mhm.
degree at Liberty University, where you and I have both attended.
Wait,
And I
can
said,
I do some?
hey,
Is that it? Am I right?
free
Or
press
is
for
it that?
liberty.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
know. I don't understand.
Represent.
No. We like the Tennessee. What's Tennessee's thing? The Who's? The Hosiers?
Oh, the volunteers. The
The Vols?
volunteers.
The Volunteer? Is that what they are?
The vol. Yeah,
The Vols.
vols. We're the
Yeah,
vols.
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm gonna get in
The
trouble for saying the
vol.
Who's. The Who's is UVA, right? They're the
I,
Who's.
I don't know. I just know that we're the vols and we have a terrible orange color. That's about all I know.
Oh.
It's so
And you guys
bad.
don't even
It's
have
like
Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey's over at Texas, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, if that was like the judgment for a good state, I mean, 49 states suck because
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey is not in those 49 states. So I mean, we have Dolly Parton. She has Dolly, like you said, Dollywood. We got that.
I don't think anybody likes Dolly
Uh,
Parton anymore.
You might be right. Tim McGraw, he's in Nashville. Pretty
Hey,
much any CCM artist you can name, for the most part, maybe not everyone, but over 80% live in the Franklin/Nashville area.
oh man, I wish. And now you. So that's an
Yeah,
addition
well,
right
for a little
there.
bit. I have to move to Lynchburg next Tuesday to go to
Unbelievable.
school.
Anywho, so I graduate college. We're coming
Yes,
back.
back to you.
Let me
Please,
tell you.
please,
Let
back
me
to you,
talk about
Steven.
myself real quick. So
Of course, yeah.
I I graduated college. I'm so here's the problem. Whenever you have like a party or a get together, there's an issue. Like you have the party and you get to the party, you're so excited, right? There's a middle ground. There's like, all right, I can't wait to go meet the boys when everyone arrives. Like there's that serotonin, if you will, right? But as
hmm
the night progresses, you're looking forward to the conclusion. Am I wrong?
hmm
Like you always know the ending's coming and everyone's gonna go home. Maybe that's the party guy in me that like lives for this adrenaline. But like you always know it's gonna end.
Of course,
So I
yeah.
wanted to put a stop to that naturally as a thought leader, as a trailblazer. I said, I wanna I wanna party for graduation, but no one has to bring anything. It's like a communion of everyone from my life coming together.
hmm
But we're all spending the night in my house
Okay.
and we're waking up tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. and we're driving from Virginia straight to an Airbnb in the Smoky Mountains. Isn't that insane? But here's the catch. We stayed one night and then drove right back.
Wow.
So in my mind, the party's coming to an end. But wait, we're sleeping over. We're having a bros night right after this. And then in the morning, we're hiking to Tennessee. You
hmm
know, it's life is about those moments.
Yeah,
It's
it's
about
beautiful.
bro,
I'm touched. I'm tearing up over here,
bro,
man. This is
listen,
good.
next boys trip you have to come. But a black bear attacked our car and ripped the door open.
Are you kidding?
Bro, we had the most crazy we went out on the town. We met some couple that was getting married. They invited us to their wedding. Like they sent us an
Okay.
invite. We met the most random, interesting people. And it's like those moments that make those
Oh yeah,
those
that's memorable. Did you post that thing about the bear to TikTok or something?
I
You go
put it on
viral?
I put it on it never bro, I have the worst luck with TikTok.
Oh
I
gosh, man.
make the top of the notch quality level videos and they scratch 400 views maybe.
Oh man, I feel like with a bear, like that's guaranteed. Like anything with wildlife, something crazy. Because I saw a video blow up, but that this particular case was a bear getting stuck inside someone's car in the
Mm.
mountains. So it like hopped in, shut the door, and then it was like locked, and it was
Uh,
clawing all over the car. And then eventually it got out, but like it completely like wrecked it from the inside. And that like got, oh my gosh, I can't remember. It was like 17 million views or something like
bro,
that. So
I
usually those wildlife stuff, man, or like VeggieTales covers, bro. I got
bro,
you.
listen.
Like you can just make VeggieTale covers in
Bro,
the future.
let's speaking Brian, let's segue. Let's talk about
It's a great segue.
talk to me about your newfound TikTok spamming. What is that
Yeah.
promotion? Is that the label telling you you need to promote, by the way, your new single, Give Up on Love?
Mhm.
Banger, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
Banger.
that.
Bro, listen, who knew we needed a God-fearing Christian love in our lives? Okay? Who
Oh,
knew we needed him?
I'm touched.
He's right here.
I'm so touched.
Give up on
Dude,
love.
I love Lauv. Like he's my one of my biggest inspirations. So like I don't mind being like the knockoff version, the Christian version. So I'll take it like all day, every day.
He has revolutionized that sound. He
Yeah.
huge. And you did it, bro. You never give up on love. Is it never give up or give up on love? I don't want to mess
Yeah,
it
it's
up.
give up on love.
Okay,
Yeah.
good,
It would have been too long to say I don't want to give up on love. And so we thought, hey, for marketing purposes, kind of sounds interesting to say give up on love. And so I have a t-shirt that just says give up on love. But I thought it might be good to have just I don't want to give up on love so people don't. But then I don't know. People can ask and then you can tell them the story about it's a song by Justin Bryan. It's called Give Up on Love. And but he actually doesn't want to give up on love.
Like, what is that shirt? Well, funny you asked.
Funny you should say. At this point,
listen.
I only have one. So I wear it sometimes myself, not to like be all into my own merch because it wasn't designed by me. I just like it. But also it's kind of like I'm like a walking billboard. You know, I can just be like, hey, if someone sees a shirt and they're like, oh, I like that shirt. I'm like, oh, cool. It's like, what does that mean? I'm like, Spotify, share it.
Bro, you need to have like QR code on the back. Like, just go ahead and scan it.
Oh my.
Scan it right
bro. Now. Reprint. That's genius. I've thought about doing that with the back of my car, except not probably with the QR code, probably just something like, like an Instagram or like username or something like, cause dude, the amount of cars you pass and they'll just like see a bumper sticker and see it. See a bumper. Like, can I say see one more time?
So the one time they'll see sticker sitting on the window.
Bumper sticker and they'll see it. My gosh. They'll notice a bumper sticker. There was one time this happened when I saw a car with an Instagram handle and I looked it up and I followed them because I was like, that's just genius. I don't know if I stayed following them. I think they were kind of weird, but
it's anyway, sort of tacky. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of tacky to have your Insta handle on your car. But like to each his own, whatever gets the engagement.
There you go, man.
Oh, listen, speaking of, I mean, okay, you give up on life is, yes, obviously brandable, but the 1975, you know that album title? It's like 2 pages long. Though You're Beautiful.
I mean, I know the 1975, but I don't think I know.
They have an album named I Love It When You Sleep Because You're So Beautiful Yet So Unaware of It. It's like, and it doesn't fit on your phone. And I'm like, oh shoot, branding's weird, bro. Branding in the music world is weird.
Yeah, well, it works for them because they're like established, and so they can kind of just do whatever they want, and then it works.
They're insane. Hey, speaking of which, the you have officially signed. What is okay? Yes. I know him. Toby Mac's record, correct?
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, so it's owned. He's a co-owner of this record label. It's called Goatee Records. Reliant K was on it back in the day. Well, they're still on it. Reliant K, Jamie Grace. I love the way you hold me. That Jamie Grace. Who are some Capital Kings? They were like big into Christian EDM.
Imagine Dragons.
No, not them. That would have been cool. It'd probably be a lot bigger of a deal if they had Imagine Dragons.
I mean, who's got for Kingston Country? Who's got the Christian Imagine Dragons?
For Kingston Country, the Christian Imagine Dragons, yeah. Words/Curb Records. They have for King Country. They also have like Francesca Battistelli and other. I couldn't tell you. There's so many.
But I mean, Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go for it. No, please. This is your show. You're literally in control. Control my move. Go for it.
Listen, I heard it took you a long time to get signed, which doesn't make sense to me. You had like 8 songs with millions of streams. Am I just unaware how the music world works? Oh, we lost him. He's lagging.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's on speaker view.
Okay. Hey, welcome back, everyone, to the Comcast Disconnecting Show. I'm your host, Stephen Covert. What were we talking about before it cut out?
We were talking about what was it? Goatee record labels.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure where we left off after that.
All right. Well, we'll just pick it up from there. We'll just start with your song. So, Goatee Records. You're signed. Yeah. You're in the big leagues now. Give Up on Love. Huge success. Massive smashing hit. Following your appearance on America's Got Talent.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? After Give Up on Love, are you planning an album? What is this? What is the record company? What is the record label asking from you, Joseph?
Yeah. So record labels, at least mine, we're at this point, we're taking things really slow. We're kind of just thinking about what's the next song. At this point, we haven't even talked about an album yet. So I'm assuming an EP is kind of like in the works, maybe. But again, a lot of unknowns. I think we're just trying to ride the coast of Give Up on Love, see how that does. And then we have a new song that we're working on right now that will be dropped probably in the next couple months, which is exciting. And they just supply all the connections that you need in order for a song to do the best that it possibly can. So they have connections within, Spotify and Apple Music to put you in playlists. And then also they have connections to radio, because apparently people still listen to radio, at least in some places, I guess.
I don't believe it.
And I think it's possible, but I just don't see how radio like has that many people listening, but it does. Caleb has 50 million monthly listeners.
Caleb,
so it's like,
still?
Yeah. Hey Love. It's crazy, man. 50 million monthly listeners.
My mom listens to it, but she does it while she cleans the kitchen. It's like in the background.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think most of it is parents like with their kids on the way to school, or like just driving their kids in general. They like throw it on in the car because they know, hey, it's going to be good content for my kids to listen to. Yeah. So that's why there's a demographic of like what we call like the Christian moms in the minivan, the minivan mom. You have to make music that somewhat like caters to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a label, they provide you all the avenues, hopefully, for success. They provide the producers, they provide the mixing engineers and mastering engineers, and they have all the people necessary to make hopefully a song like resonate with people.
And that was your dream. That was your dream, right? To get signed?
It still is, man. The dream, honestly, is to like make a living doing music. And I say that because like I have obviously like dreams of dreams to like, oh, it would be great to win a Grammy. It would be great to win a K-Love Fan Award. It would be great to win a Dove Award. Like you have these things that like, that would be cool. But like the dream has always been, am I able just to like make music, songwrite, perform, and travel, and be able to provide financially for myself and a family one day.
Right.
If that ever happens, I'm literally like living the dream, which I hope is like not a lofty goal. At this point, I've gotten to a point where it's within reach, but it's not quite there yet, just because, establishing yourself as an artist takes time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love how you mentioned, what did you say? The dream of a dream. I feel like everyone should have those. Like,
oh yeah, it's good to have because it pushes you, but like
never settle for a dream.
Unattainable. They seem unattainable as of now. And if I ever attained one, it would be like, whoa, like that's so cool.
Right. I think,
as of now, I feel like my dream is pretty, hopefully realistic enough that I'm like, oh, it's a dream that I don't know, I can hold one day.
I used to tell people, they were like, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, realistically, or what's the dream? Like, I love having like, oh, I would love to, oh no. When we said,
bro,
did you see what popped up on the screen?
We have 9 minutes and 52 seconds to finish this up. Are you kidding? Or we're just going to have to start another Zoom call, which literally works.
Wait, let me see.
I'm pretty sure that we can just start another Zoom call after this.
Can we start another Zoom call, Liam?
Yeah, we'll just have to hop on another one.
Let's try that.
Yeah, hey, we'll be right back. So we were talking about Goatee Records. We're talking about this fear of promotion. Talk to me about this TikTok career, Joseph. What is going on with all these TikToks every single day?
Yes.
I can't open my For You page without seeing you.
Not every single day, but it was consistent for a while. Where it started, because I mean TikTok was happening almost like separate from Goatee, and for a long time it was literally because so this story. Let me go back. Let me rewind.
Give me some context.
So 2000, I think it was 2018. It was the summer of 2018 before I was on the show, or was it? No, it was the summer I was on the show.
America's Got Talent, correct?
Yes. And I had always seen these super cheesy Instagram ads for TikTok. Like they were, I think you probably remember them. They were
me too. I thought it was going to be the next Songify or whatever those stupid.
Well, Musically, right?
Musically, not Songify. That's cool.
Yeah,
Musically, I was like, no, not again.
Yeah. They were bad, man. Like, these advertisements, I was like, this is just so bad. But it kept growing in popularity. So I'm like, you know what? Let me see what's going on here. Let me check TikTok and see what the hype is about. And when I first got it, I just hated it. I was like, this is so weird. Like I got all these weird videos, but I kept just kind of going back to it just to see. And then over time, I started noticing like, I'm getting really funny videos on my For You page, and like, this isn't half bad because I started like filtering. Like I found out, oh, you can hold it down and say, oh, not interested in this video, not interested. And then content became more filtered to what I liked. And then I was just full fledged, like kind of addicted for a while. I thought like TikTok was just the greatest thing. And all of the people my age just gave me so much like flack for it. They're like, bro, like you're on TikTok. Are you serious? And even now, like our generation is still kind of hesitant to the idea of TikTok. But I feel like most people have it. They just don't say it. They're like,
Bro,
you know.
I was such a late adopter. I hated the idea because Vine was the pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, Vine was the best in a sense. Like, but I don't know. I would say TikTok is almost getting to the point where I'm like, I don't know. Like it's up there. I like it, but keep going.
Bro, TikTok, listen, for a really technologically consumed generation, and especially for an artist, I'm probably for sure like organic promotion comes straight from TikTok. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok is a powerhouse right now.
Oh yeah.
Can't, it's almost like Instagram and Facebook, you cannot promote yourself. Instagram does not push out content anymore for new audiences. TikTok is ideal for growing because like YouTube, you can't really pick up speed unless you have like it has to come from somewhere. And I think TikTok is the only place to get new engagement organically. Yeah, and you're killing it. You get huge engagement on your TikToks.
Yeah, I mean, again, not every post is the same, but like that's the beauty. TikTok is like the algorithm is just it's so I'm not gonna say easy, but it's easier to get noticed and to accumulate a following if you kind of create like a niche product.
Yeah.
So what happened is I had it, but I never made any content for a year because I was not interested in like making content for TikTok. I was more just like watching like YouTube, right? And then COVID hit. And I was so bored at home. I was like, I have enough. Like, what am I supposed to do with my time? I've got all this time.
Yeah.
And so like I had made, I think TikToks a little bit before then. And I remember there was this one TikTok where I made, it was terrible quality in the sense of I was just in a practice room at Liberty. I said, hey, what if the VeggieTales theme was like sad and moody and nostalgic or whatever? And, you know, it didn't go viral, but there was a noticeable, like, I think it got like something like 4,000 likes. For me at the time, that was a big deal. I was like, 4,000 likes? Like, whoa, like that's cool. So I was like, got the brain gears kind of moving, shifting around. Like, okay, all right. So then I released a Cheeseburger, but kind of produced it up, just a piano ballad, got like 60,000 likes. I was like, whoa, or no, maybe it was 20,000. I don't know. It was something 60, like it huge. Did really well. And I remember refreshing my TikTok and it was just like going up in views. And again, this is not like platinum viral TikTok, but for me and my little, like whatever it was, like 5,000, 6,000 followers, like this was a pretty big deal. So I kept releasing them just like over and over again. And every time like my brother started filming them and I would produce them and I would spend like 5 hours a day on them. And, you know, gradually like people were following and really like enjoying them. And then I started making other content. Like I would take like COVID and like make it into a musical, like, oh, like if Moana was COVID, blah, 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 blah. So like I would be like, what is it? What can I say except not welcome? Yeah, you can't come inside my house 6 feet apart. I said not welcome. You're starting to stress me out. Like things like that, like just content geared towards just being like relevant. And I was doing really well, like really, 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 really well. And things were blowing up. And I was like consistently getting like maybe 2,000 to 3,000 followers a day. But at some point it was like, I was exhausted. Yeah. Like it's so hard. Like, and you know, you're a content creator. It wears you out. And not because you're like worn out by like people following, you're just worn out because you're like, gosh, I'm spending so much time out of the day creating these things. And sometimes they do well, but also sometimes they don't do well. So like, it just becomes really difficult. And, you know, school comes and you're like, I can't do school on TikTok. Like, just it's too much. So they just ceased. And so I kind of like hit a peak at like 125,000 followers. And it's kind of sad to see because like, if you stop making content for a while, like you'll lose that engagement. You'll lose like a lot of your followers and they won't really watch your videos anymore when you post them. So I've just recently, after being signed, I'm like, okay, like I'm going to try and like get them back up again. But yeah, it's not the same. Like, you know, some of them do pretty well, but like not to the extent of what they used to. And so you kind of look back and you're like, man, like I could, if I thought of it as a business and been like making content and consistently just done it and spent maybe not 5 hours, but like, let's say 1 hour and just still have kept on going. And maybe if it diminished to like 500 followers, and then you're like, okay, if I did that for 365 like days straight, where would I be right now? And then you're like, oh man, I would have been like at 700,000.
Yeah.
But it's like everyone loves to romanticize that. Like, oh, I could have been at that, but you actually have to do the hard work to like put, you know, to put in. So anyway,
trap.
That's my TikTok thing. But it's great. I mean, for artists, TikTok is like, if you can get a song to blow up, like, do you know who Cody Fry is?
Bro, we love Cody Fry.
Yeah, like Cody Fry, like he randomly just had a song blow up on TikTok. And now it's like at 30 million plus like hits on Spotify.
Right.
Which before it was like maybe at 1 million or something like that. But people started using his sound. Mm-hmm. And so now he has a whole audience almost to the extent of like Ben Rector now because he has a song blow up on TikTok. It's just crazy, man. So like if you can get discovered and your sound is used on TikTok, I mean, like that band, like put your hand in mine, you know, that I want to, like, I knew of them before and I think maybe their best song had 3 million. And then that song hit TikTok and everyone was using it for boyfriend, girlfriend videos. Yeah. Literally everyone. Oh my gosh. And now they're at like 250 million plus Spotify streams. Like
it's insane. Like touching on that, like, do you know that group called like Group Love, I think is the band? Like I had heard about them like in 2015 and no one knew about them. Then they dropped this song, huge success on TikTok. I don't know how TikTok like took advantage of that streams count as views, count as sound thing, or how they made that work.
Yeah.
But it's huge. Like you're saying, like artists don't even go on the radio anymore. They don't do interviews. They just go to TikTok, put their song, and they're like, hey. And then usually like some artists that are, I think it's a huge tool though. A lot of indie, like underground, self-promoting, no label artists are doing big things. I think it's scaring.
Yeah, and labels are hopping on it too. I mean, like Olivia Rodrigo, for instance, like everyone's using her sounds on there. And like you can see, her stats are unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. 59 million monthly listeners for one album. Never seen that before. Yeah, it's like crazy, bro.
I think the top is JB, and he's like 75 million. And he's been around for, he's a sensation for like 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
it's crazy, bro.
I mean, that obviously spills into other things. Like, I don't know what's going to happen when TikTok's over, or like what happens when a TikTok doesn't do well. It's tough, man. It's putting a weird.
What happens when YouTube goes downhill or like Instagram? I feel like TikTok is such a powerhouse now that it's not going to go away like Vine did.
Yeah.
Which I still don't know why Vine did. I feel like everyone used it.
I think Twitter just had enough.
Did
Twitter
own Vine?
Twitter owned Vine, I think.
Why did they get rid of it? That's so dumb.
I think it had a good ending though. Like I'd rather it have a good taste in your mouth and die out and everyone hated it.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Do you think TikTok's going to be around forever? Is that the future? Do you think TikTok?
I really do. I think it's become such a staple, and it's like migrating its way into like sharing posts. Like I don't know, like it feels so integrated now to like iPhones and Apple. Like whenever you can share things, and like I don't know it, and the engagement is ridiculous. Like on TikTok, and again, like it's changed the music industry. So like I don't see how it would go away, and if it did, like there's going to be something else that comes up that's going to do around the same thing.
Entertainment has changed. No one goes to movie theaters really anymore. But I don't know if
again, I went to a movie theater today.
Yeah,
and there's just no one. The parking lot is like, it's like a really popular theater. Growing up where I grew up, see, it did it again. Two of the same thing. A golf disc. And yeah, the parking lot was just, it felt maybe like 20% full, and it was just so weird, man. Like everyone, I can just get it on my TV and watch it at home. Yeah. But I still love going to movies. That experience, man, of just getting popcorn in the dark room, and then like the big sound system. And we did IMAX today. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Bro, that's heaven.
That's great.
But that's what TikTok and all these things are doing, man. There's no need. We don't need to go outside for content anymore. It's all on our phones.
Yep.
Which is a weird thing to realize.
It is weird. They changed the game, man. And again, like the algorithm, people realize,
Yeah.
oh, I don't have to buy like an $1,000 camera for something to go viral. I can just
Yeah.
like make something super stupid, kind of like Vine. It felt
Yeah.
personal. I can just make whatever and it might get traction. And, it doesn't, everyone feels like they can be a star.
Right.
It's almost like we live in a narcissistic culture, which I cave into a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's hard not to, when you're trying to be an artist, like you have to wrestle with that,
Right.
and as a content creator, it's like you have to wrestle with that ego of like just every day trying to die to yourself when yourself wants to be like the top. You're like, I want to be the best.
Bro, and it's funny that you talked about that. I mean, obviously social media, we love it, but I think it's like a subconscious, it's just a dopamine hit every time you get a good post. And it goes vice versa. It's like, if you don't get a good post, you take it to your self-worth almost.
Yeah.
Which is tough, but it's such a powerful tool, but it also is your biggest enemy sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, and everyone can be, like you said, everyone's a content creator.
Yeah.
It's just,
no one's okay with being, well, I mean, I hate to say it, but like, yeah, everyone thinks like, oh, I can be a somebody, which is, I mean, it's a good thing to be like, hey, I want to use the gifts that God's given me, or like the personality traits that God's given me to be like unique and a different voice. But like, God doesn't call everyone to be like famous.
Yeah. But we all want it. We're all itching for it now that it's so accessible. Of course,
like, yeah, because it's accessible. So it felt like for a long time, people were like, oh man, I can't, like auto-tune's done that. It's like anyone can be a singer now. It's like, oh, just sing the right, the kind of the notes, and then you can move them up and move them down.
Yeah.
And I kind of need auto-tune. So I'm not, don't think by any means I'm shredding auto-tune. So I think it's very helpful. It's a helpful tool, but just don't rely on it is what I always have said.
And I mean, especially for you as a Christian artist, I mean, it's no secret that it's harder to be popular in a secular world as a Christian artist. But I think TikTok gives you the tool to almost attack that niche. Like you go right into the Christian music niche, and there's your fan base. All you gotta do is hashtag it. It's just right there waiting for you.
Hashtag Christian, hashtag VeggieTales.
The FYP for you page.
Yeah, FYP.
Well, it's a huge tool for you. Like, do you?
Yeah.
I mean, as a Christian artist, you definitely face like adversity. I mean, and especially I'm sure on America's Got Talent, being a big Christian name, our entertainment world is foremost secular. So how am I trying to say this? Like, what are the biggest challenges? I'm just gonna ask a broad question. Like, what faces you every day as an up and coming Christian artist?
Yeah, I think, that's good. Good question. Good questions.
I read online somewhere that it was like, don't ask yes or no questions. So I'm just going to give you an open one. We can marinate it in a little bit. I was Googling. I was like, how do I ask questions? So here we go.
I have to like contact my manager to make sure I say this, right. His scripted answer he gave me like a couple weeks ago.
He said, don't give Steven anything that he can use.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, I'm not even a celebrity, but it's tough because everyone wants secular. They want raunchy. They want something to appease the romanticism that they've given to Hollywood. Everyone wants to feel like a party animal. Like I was talking about this with Liam, the producer, like the Nelk Boys. What is it that they do? They go party and everyone's like, man, I wish I was them.
I feel really uneducated because I don't know who the Nelka Boys are.
The Nelk Boys?
Are they like TikTok people? Like
they're
stars?
like
huge, in like the Hype House or something?
They're like, have you ever heard of full send? Like the term full send?
Like sure. Yeah.
They've like coined that.
Did they really?
They coined like the full send. They make pre-workout. They like have adopted this bro persona, which I prescribe to the bro persona all the time. It's marketable. People eat it up. But that's the state, man. Everyone wants to be desired by some, like they want to be desirable. They want to live a lavish lifestyle. Yeah. Everything that really isn't biblical, if you will. So like it has to be tough because you are Christian Joseph O'Brien, who has no women in his Instagram, not talking about sex on his songs. What can I chew on? What can I chew on in that content?
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is like like I have two strong callings. Like the one is obviously like my general calling as a believer in Christ is to be like a light into the world and to proclaim the gospel like freely and to be, just that like, again, that's like the Great Commission, right? It's like, I want to make sure that I'm proclaiming Jesus wherever I go, and hopefully people just see Jesus in me. And I saw this quote the other day, like this is a little like controversial, but like I know there's this saying.
Do we need to cut the mics?
I think we're good. We'll be good.
Let them have it.
A lot of people say like, what is it? They say like pre-gospel use words if like necessary. Is like that the saying? Like I've never really liked that, just because like I think there is a way to appear different as a believer. Like there's a noticeable difference, but like people aren't going to know what that difference is unless you tell them.
Right. Like
they're going to be like, oh, what's going on? So like if they ask you, like you have opportunity to obviously say it.
Yeah.
But I think instead of just being like, oh, I'm just going to like be a really nice person. That's great. Be nice, but also like be truthful and be like, if someone asks you, don't just say like, oh, I love Jesus. And like, it works for me, but whatever works for you is what you should do. I think there's a lot of power in communicating. Like Jesus can like radically change my life, and he can change yours too. Yeah. And just like, bring up the conversation. So anyway, what were you going to say? I want to make sure.
Oh no, that was perfect. I think that's awesome, man. Cause I struggle with, because obviously everyone wants to be famous. I would love to be some kind of popular entertainer, but it's like, how do you harness that significance, that notoriety?
Watch out, man. Stephen's coming for him.
It's like, how do you harness that notoriety to further the kingdom? Like it's tough. Like God doesn't want you to, I don't think he wants you to be, you don't need to be famous for yourself. You have to be famous for his name, obviously. So it's like, that's something I struggle with. It's like, I want to be Stephen Covert, but who's Stephen Covert? Who does he find his joy from? So it's like, that's tough for me. Vulnerability hour, because I want to be the best at what I do. And then it's also like, but you got to remind yourself, where does all that come from? Why are you the best that you do? And people are going to ask, and it's up to you to tell them.
Yeah. And that's I think the tricky balance, especially like being content creators or like artists, is like, there's, what is it? Like humility is not like thinking less of yourself, but it's just thinking of yourself less, is what I've always heard. I think is great. Because I think when we're wrestling with like wanting to be known, it's good to, I think the mentality we always need to be in is like, I have gifts, and like, that's not bad for me to recognize those, and for me to be like working hard for them and to be grateful for them. That's what I was actually going to go for, is like, that's the key, is like to be grateful for them. Like know that at any point, like God could take away, like who knows, like maybe tomorrow I can't sing. That could happen. Right. Like I'm totally aware of that, because God could take it away at any time he pleases. Yeah. And if he does it, does that mean that my life is over and I have no purpose? No, because my ultimate purpose is to glorify God and enjoy him forever. Right. Catechism.
Hey, this is a side note, but I've heard you're a big Spurgeon fan. A very reformed man of the presbytery, perhaps.
Oh my gosh. I have so many books behind me that actually I don't have it in that collection. I have to move it from my car, but in the back of my car, Pastor David gave it to me. Is a set of 28 commentaries by John Calvin. Bro, 28.
We love
they're huge, bro. So I need to put those on the bottom, but I've got R.C. Sproul, got Jerry Bridges, who's that? C.S. Lewis and John Piper. Love me some John Piper. And all the peeps. I love theology. It's a good time.
You're the man. We'll have to talk about that.
We'll talk about that. I was actually going to say that segues into, I said like there's that first calling, which is like the general calling of like being a light into the world. But I feel actually like you're saying, what are the challenges? I think for me, like my actually challenge is like, I see obviously there's so many lost people in the world, but there's also people that are in the Christian world in the Christian, I guess, bubble that are lost, but people within the Christian church, I think it's so important to realize like, it's okay to be passionate about your faith and to like also crave to like dig into God's word and like to be like, I don't know, just this idea of like, hey, I want to know God more. And so like reading about theology and like so many times I hear like, doctrine. Right. Like that's a bad thing. But I think it's so cool because it like doctrine's the worst, but it's so great because like it helps us like, I think know God more. And obviously you have to have that personal, like emotional side of like, just, yeah, being in the word and getting to God or getting to know God in that way. But I think there's also beauty in like the academia of it too. Of just like saying like, these are concepts like that are pretty hard to grasp, but like they help me understand the one I love more.
Right.
So that's a calling I see for the church right now. And like where I want to be is like, especially for people our age, because like, you know, again, like it's popular sometimes to even be a Christian as like a nice person, but like it can be unpopular to stand for truth and to, I don't know, just to have like to like, stand up for your convictions. Like, because so many people are just like, they want to like have one foot in one place and one foot in the other. Like, oh, like I want to like say that I love Jesus, but like I also like want to do all the things with my friends that are really fun and like are really, you know, not good for me, but like I'm just gonna not think about that. It's like, no, because I go to church on Sundays, but I do this. I think something in high school that was like, there were some stances that I took that were hard in a sense of just like I was pretty much decided like, hey, I'm not going to date in high school. Not to say that's a bad thing, but I was like, I want to make sure that I'm intentional with relationships. I didn't end up going to like prom, which was really weird. Like not because like I think there's anything wrong with prom, but the prom that we had for our school, for a private school, seemed to be worse than like public schools that I like had seen their proms. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. So I formed a club called the Peer Pressureless Radical Trendsetters of Abstinence. Not even kidding. It was Peer Pressureless Radical Trendsetters of Abstinence. We called it PERDA for short.
That's a
3 people in the club. I know, right? 3 people in the club. And we just like did a like Bible studies, and on prom night we went to go get frozen yogurt and like watch the Jungle Book. It was so fun, man.
Oh, that's
and like little things like
so wholesome.
Yeah, wholesome, right? It was just like little things like that. I think, you know, I'm not prescribing it, but I'm just describing that's what the Lord was convicting me at the time. And so like I stood by those because like I, as a follower of Christ, were again called to be in the world, because like we can't just like, you know, not be in it unless we're not in it. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all in it, but like I think what attracts non-believers is the fact that we are different from the world. So many people are like, oh, I got to be just like the world in order for me to like witness to those people. Like, so I'm going to like use all like this, and we don't have to get into that, but like, let me use all this like strong language and let me do all these things. Cause like,
I think we should really get into that.
No, we shouldn't. Let's do all these things so that non-believers can be like, oh, like you're just like me, blah, blah, and then you can open up a conversation. And if that's what happens for some people, I'm still not going to prescribe it, but like I'm joyful that they'll come to the Lord. But I think there's something really cool about us as believers, for people who are not believers, to see us and they're like, there is something radically different about like the way they're living, and I want that. Because what I'm doing now is not attraction.
I want to be. I want that joy, dude. That's beautiful. Yeah. I really appreciate you saying that. And like you were saying, like if you can't say no to prom, like back in high school, how in the world are those like little things? How are you going to say no to like a secular artist wanting to, like, it's once you get later in your career, you're going to have even bigger decisions that require even deeper convictions. And if you weren't able to do that in high school, like you're laying that groundwork. And I think that's overlooked by a lot of people. It's like those little everyday decisions, they add up, and it's going to hit you as soon as you don't see it coming.
Yeah, that's true.
Your testimony is going to take a hit.
You cut off at the last part. You said something, take a hint. That's the last thing I got, but I don't think
I said
that's probably not what you said, right?
Your testimony is going to take a hit.
Take a head?
Take a hit.
Oh, take a hit. Okay. Take a hit. Gotcha.
Take a hit. Am I coming in again?
Yeah, you're coming in. I just never heard that expression before. That must be a Stephen thing.
Take a hit?
You take a hit. Oh, you're saying like take a hit sense of never mind. I was going it wrong. Like a take a hit would mean a bad thing, right? It's like your testimony.
Right. It's going to take a wound.
How in the world did I not get that first time?
It's your testimony needs to just take a hint.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, for sure. Take a hint. Yeah.
I really appreciate you saying all these things, because I don't think many people would know that about you. I had a little bit of insider info just because I knew Jonah Polson, and he loves you. Yep. Jonah Polson told me all about your You're very reformed.
He is also a very muscular individual. Both of you guys are very muscular individuals.
Bro,
I don't know how you do it.
Jonah Paulson is my dad. He's such a cool guy.
He's really cool. I actually met him at church, like a church that we were going to at the time, like my first semester.
I think I went to that.
Did you actually?
It's a very small Presbyterian one. Church? Isn't it Presbyterian?
I don't think it's Presbyterian. It's non-denom, but like low key, the pastor Joe, he's Presbyterian
we
or
love
like
those Presbyterians.
Reformed Southern Baptist, very much so.
I went there with Jonah a few times. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's where we met. I think we were in like some kind of like we were in a community group together, and I just remember being like, "Wow, this guy's big. He's huge."
Bro, it's huge. Like, you don't understand how many people you inspire, man. You have a strong testimony. You were at such a high stage in the entertainment world, and people are like, "Dang, Joseph O'Brien."
Well, yeah, it's so funny too. I've always felt like, again, like I think I literally have no shame in saying this. Like there are testimonies that are more interesting than others. Like
absolutely.
But that doesn't mean like your testimony is any less valid than others, you know?
No,
like
yeah.
That's the beauty of like you get to see different perspectives of like how the Lord's like working in your life. So like obviously, you know, when I hear of someone who is like, oh, like a complete like drug addict or something, or addicted to some like, you know, alcohol, or, you know, just stories like that. Those are moving and powerful. But I think, you know, that's not my story. I grew up in a really strong Christian home, and nothing really interesting happened to me. Like I didn't have any like life trauma, not yet, at least. I definitely think like trials are going to be coming to my life, whether I like it or not. That's just like what the Lord says is like, yeah, trials are going to be upon us. And so we have to like take joy in them. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but we're going to do it.
You'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
There'll be a song about it somehow. We'll hear about it on the radio for sure. Caleb will be playing your traumas loud and clear.
Oh, dude, that's too heavy for Caleb. You can't talk about trials. That doesn't work.
Nothing bad happens on Caleb.
Every good thing, every heartbeat. That's all they need. Bro, you can't talk about serious stuff.
Not to talk about Caleb again, but every time I went to this Latin class when I was like, well, I didn't go to it, but I was writing.
You took Latin too?
Bro, I took Latin. I was homeschooled, bro. I was homeschooled.
You were homeschooled?
I was homeschooled.
The whole way through.
I was home
the whole way. Did you ever go to public or private?
I was bare bones homeschooled till 8th grade, but I went to a co-op through high school.
Oh, okay. I went to we called it a tutorial in Tennessee.
Oh.
We called it tutorials, like Tuesday and Thursday. I don't know why, but it was co-op. We went.
Yeah, I did. Bro, I went to this very. It was like called an academy. It was like really preppy to be a co-op, but like we had our own teachers, we had our own principal and our own report card. So it was very much a private school, but it was technically a co-op.
Yeah.
What an upbringing we share.
I know. Man, we just got connected right there.
We'll be in cahoots here. Just reach out. No, but piggybacking off the last topic, I love what you said about the testimony, because I think as humans, we want to relate. We love and every little testimony, like you said, just to be, I guess, to encourage people listening, every human needs a relatable factor, and there's nothing more relatable than a testimony of struggle. No one can relate to your testimony or my testimony if it's something extreme or if it's something easy. But I think having every testimony matters, because someone out there will relate to it inevitably. I wanted to make sure that I said I appreciate you saying that, because that's what it's all about. That's the relationship builder.
Yeah. Maybe there's some kid out there. He's like, should I go to prom or should I not?
Exactly, bro. Someone's listening, and they're
I'm not going to say whether you should go or not. I'm just going to say, hey, why don't you pray about it and think about it and see whatever. And if you have a gut feeling that like the Lord's trying to tell you something, then maybe you should listen to that. Maybe you should listen to that gut thing.
Absolutely. Hey, we were given gifts of storytelling for a reason.
You're good at storytelling too. I hope you know that.
Dude, you are good at storytelling.
Bro,
every time that pen hits the paper. Oh, I just clipped the mic. Every time pen hits the paper with you, man, you could be connecting to somebody.
I don't hit the paper, but I do type it into a
You're not
keyboard.
a Renaissance man. You don't put the ink to the paper, the parchment, if you will.
Well, I type like I'm not trying to brag here at all, but I do type really fast. Like last time I took a test, I was 98 words a minute.
Did you take those typing courses when you were homeschooled?
Bro, Well, I did it in private school, but no joke, this is terrible. But sometimes in class, if I got really bored, like in a college class, like if it was like a research 201 or like English, like some English or something, I was like, how am I like, my brain would wander and I'd like need to re-engage it. I'd pull up a typing test and I would just like start typing. You're a full nerd. I am a geek, but like it was fun. It got my brain working and I could like pay attention.
Yeah.
And not prescribing it, not prescribing. So.
Bro, I took Mavis Beacon. Did you ever take Mavis Beacon?
I don't think I did.
It's
no.
My dad came in one day and he's like, you need to get better at typing. And he bought me this program called Mavis Beacon. Mavis Beacon. It was all about like upping your words per minute. And I was like, Dad, I don't need to, what? I'm not going to be a accountant or an assistant. I don't know what I needed. Anyway, I never got good at typing, so I envy.
Did you ever eat maple bacon while doing Mavis Beacon?
Mavis Beacon, Apple bacon. I'm going.
No, maple bacon.
Apple bacon, Mavis Beacon.
No,
Joseph
Maple
O'Brien,
bacon.
America's
Maple
Got
bacon
Talent.
doing Mavis Beacon. I don't know. Or
I did like 2 word games where you'd like fly around in a spaceship and shoot words if you could type them, and I said this is dumb.
I did. Wait, hold up. I did do that, but I don't know if it was Mavis Beacon. We had the 1 year I went to public school, we did typing things and we had to type in and we'd like shoot. Yeah. We did do that. Okay.
Bro, we've been living parallel lives this whole time.
Yeah. Are we like, what's it? Multiverse versions?
Are you the Spider-Man of the multiverse? And wait, what is it? I don't understand the multiverses very much.
We'll figure it out hopefully in the next year when all the Marvel movies, describe it.
When we finally get some to theaters.
Yes.
Hey.
I'll be in theaters.
Joseph.
Yes.
This has been the most thrilling podcast I've ever done.
Wow.
I just want to
like you don't have to say I was better than Rashad Jennings because like I'm sure that was really thrilling.
I just want to say Rashad Jennings. Cool. Rashad Jennings has a milky voice and he's a very handsome man. Yes. And you can't really top Rashad Jennings, but I want to let you know on an earthly standard where we all reside, you were the best.
Wow. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm so glad I got to be on it and follow up, someone that I followed. Because he was on New Orleans, right? I don't know if he ever switched to another team. Maybe he did. Can't remember.
Wait, did you say the what team?
I was like, we're talking about Rashad Jennings, and I just think he's really cool.
He played the Jaguars, Raiders, and then ended with the Giants.
Okay.
But he was also on an NBC network show as you were. He did America's Got Talent and won. Not America's Got Talent, Dancing with the Stars, excuse me. He was on Dancing with the Stars and won.
I was about to say I have no recollection that he was on America's Got Talent, but Dancing with the Stars, okay, that's sick.
Bro, listen.
No, America's Got Talent is not probably as cool as Dancing with the Stars. That show is kind of hype. I don't watch it, but
he stole the show. He is not of this planet.
Rashad, you ever return?
He descended from the skies to bless us with entertainment and football.
Did you hear my joke? It was pretty good.
I think I kind of brushed over it because I was like talking. I was talking, so as being the narcissist, I didn't really care.
It was really good. It was a really joke. You said that he stole the show, and so I decided to take the liberty to say, liberty, no pun intended. Take the liberty to say, did he return it? Which was really funny because that would be a really funny joke. So yeah.
Oh, see, that was good, Joseph. Anyway, continuing on with what I was saying. No,
I love dad jokes. Just know that about me. I'm a big dad joke guy. I don't have any kids, but I swear I'm a dad.
Bro, you're my dad.
Me and Jonah. What can I say?
Bro, listen, we all need to get together and have some coffee. Bro, listen, Joseph O'Brien, you are the future of, what is it called? CCM, Christian music? What is that terminology?
Christian contemporary music, CCM.
The CCM belongs to you. Your new song is out now. Your TikTok is popping. Is there anything else you want to plug? A shameless plug. Plug whatever it is you want to plug. If you've got like a new hair routine, if you're partnering with Axe for a new fragrance called the O'Brien Effect.
I got nothing, bro. You got plug. You plugged it, bro. Give Up on Love. That's my new single. So, and you already said that. We've talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And yeah, signing with Goatee Records. That was the big thing for a while.
Yeah.
So,
bro, you're gonna kill it. It's been fun watching you grow. We've never had a full-on conversation like this before, Thank you for being on here, for taking the time through the Comcast issues, through your life, living in Franklin, Tennessee. I hope the move back to Lynchburg is well.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll see each other soon. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Stephen Covert podcast, starring Stephen Covert, by Stephen Covert, and Joseph O'Brien. Check him out on Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, Apple Music, OnlyFans, Google.
Oh my God.
No OnlyFans. That was a joke. Joseph O'Brien, I love you. I love you so much. I'm going to stop recording now. Shout out to the producer Liam behind the camera for always setting us up with the best.